Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of our national anthem and Hawaii Pono'i. This evening, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a young lady who has been here on the floor of the Stan Sheriff Center before. As a matter of fact, she's been here for the past 4 years. A graduate of Punahou from Hilo, Hawaii, number 10, senior Tai Manu-Olevao.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free, and the home of the brave? Hawaii Pono'i Nana I ko mo'i kalani a li'i ke ali'i makua lani e kamehameha e na kaua e pale me ka ihe makua lani e kamehameha e na kaua e pale me ka ihe.
Number 10, Tai Manu-Olevao.
At center, 5'9" junior from Honolulu, co-captain number 7, Taylor Higgins. At middle hitter, 6'1" senior from Shoreline, Washington, number 9, Olivia Magill. At outside hitter, 6' senior from Hilo, Hawaii, floor captain number 10, Tai Manu-Olevao. outside hitter, 6'2" sophomore from Riverside, California, number 11, Calais Greeley. And opposite, 6'4" junior from Honolulu, number 14, Nikki Taylor. At libero, 5'8" sophomore from Kalihi, Oahu, number 15, Savannah Kahakai. And at middle blocker, 6'3" sophomore from Coquitlam, British Columbia, Canada, number 19, Emily Magill. The volunteer assistant is James Ka, assistant coach Robin Amos Santos, associate coach Jeff Hall, head coach for your Rainbow Wahine, Dave Shoji.
Welcome to the Stan Sheriff Center. Kanoa along with Chris McLaughlin sitting courtside. The Hawaiian Tel FCU starting lineups scrolling at the bottom of your screen. And it is, of course, senior night for Olivia Magill and Manu-Olevao. And usually the very unique festivities of senior night in Hawaii are focused on the conclusion, the aftermath of the match and the action. We had a very special moment precluding this match with Manu-Olevao singing the national anthem.
Brought tears to my eyes. I don't know about you.
Oh, man. You weren't alone either. Nikki Taylor was standing along the bench area for Hawaii, and she had tears streaming down her cheeks as you see Olivia Magill get the scoring started.
Kahakai, same thing. I saw Kahakai wiping her eyes. It was a very emotional moment.
It was beautifully executed, to say the least, and here is Manu-Olevao with the serve. Fullerton will go outside to Kira Hill, and Kira Hill able to work it off of the block and out. Cal State Fullerton 0-20 this season, 0-8 in the Big West Conference. It's the third time since 1992 that the Titans have lost at least their first 20 matches. And that serve from Megan Delgado goes into the net, so back to Hawaii it goes. Meanwhile, the Rainbow Wahine riding a 14-match win streak, 19-1, and the lone unbeaten in the Big West Conference standings at 9-0. Savannah Kahakai serving for the Rainbow Wahine. Set goes outside. Here's Hill again down the line. Good dig by Higgins. Bump set goes to Taylor from off the net. Got a good swing on it. Overpass on the dig, and Greeley able to take advantage with the free crack.
Really taking advantage of that overpass. But how about the swing before that of Nikki Taylor? No approach whatsoever. She just stands and goes straight up using all 6'4" of her and whacks that ball to the deep corner. Great shot.
Middle set, and that's Candace Thomas. Great dig by the senior Manu-Olevao. Set goes to Greeley into the deep corner. A diving save by Paige Reed, the libero for Fullerton. Now Hawaii with it again. Back set to Taylor against the double block, and she pounds it high hands and down. Nikki Taylor tops on the team in kills per set at 4.31. Leads the Big West Conference. Also in points per set as well as aces per set. Second in the Big West in kills per set. And there is
an ace for Kahakai.
An ace for Kahakai.
Nikki Taylor got off to such a hot start on Friday night. I think she had Hawaii's first 6 kills. I'm sure she'd love to duplicate that tonight.
That serve into the net, so it goes to Fullerton. Yeah, Hawaii defeating UC Riverside on Friday. It was the night before Halloween, and they were up 2-0, seemed to be cruising, and then in true Halloween fashion, it got a little spooky there for the Rainbow Wahine as Riverside won the third and then made a big-time competition of it in the fourth as Greeley's dug up tight to the net. So the set goes backward. This is Delgado, got the block, and sends it down for another Fullerton point.
Good swing by Megan Delgado. Had 12 kills last week against UC Irvine. And earlier this year, she had 18 kills versus University of California Riverside. So Delgado can light it up. Her nickname's Big Red. We'll see if she gets hot tonight. There she is. Big Red.
You can see it a little bit better in her profile picture there. Yeah. The red hair is where the name stems from. Yeah. Here's Higgins. Goes to Greeley on the outside, down the line. That was a beautiful swing that time from Calais Greeley, the sophomore from Riverside, California.
Really like a fine wine. Just seems to get better every week.
And that's really good when you think about the fact that she's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Here's Hill on the outside, goes up over the block and down. Kira Hill, one of a pretty large amount of transfers, 5 to be exact. 5'9" sophomore, transfer from University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. And she's a good one, but they have loaded this team under first-year head coach Ashley Preston with transfers, because when Preston took over for Carolyn Zimmerman, who had been there for 13 years, wasn't retained at the conclusion of her most recent contract, they lost in what was almost a fire sale-like sort of sequence there. As you see with a lot of coaching changes, they had 4 starters that transferred out of the program.
And Ashley Preston really couldn't get a jump start on the recruiting because she wasn't hired until January. So really got to Fullerton around February. That's way late in the recruiting season to get anything done. So it's a very difficult first-year transition for Ashley Preston.
One of those transfers was Nikki Withers, who was on the Big West Conference All-Freshman team as Greeley serves it into the net. She transferred to USC. Making it a little bit more challenging for Ashley Preston, but we talked to her before the match, and her attitude and personality just off the charts.
Effervescent.
Yeah.
Bubbly, excited about her job, enthusiastic, loves the support she's getting from Jim Donovan, the athletic director. I think if Jim's patient with Ashley, I think she'll really turn into an excellent Division I coach.
Mackenzie Olsen sent the serve out, so here's Claire Marie Anderson up off the bench. 9 serving 5. Step out, and that's Summer Cairns, and she's able to find the floor. So Fullerton competing here early on in this opening set.
Great little step-out maneuver by Cairns. Comes from some great volleyball DNA here. Dad Mark played at Long Beach State, played in the national team in '91, and was a 3-time All-American at Long Beach State.
Good serve there, passed by Kahakai. Bump set to Taylor in the back row, and she's roofed. They had a couple of blockers up, and in the middle, it was Candace Thomas, who was the shining performer for Cal State Fullerton the first time these two teams hooked up in California back on October 2nd. It was Hawaii's first road match of the season, and Thomas had 7 kills on 10 attempts, 0 errors.
Here's another stat for you. Cal State Fullerton is averaging about 362 people per match. They've had 4 serves out in the first 7 servers. I think there may be a bit of nerves playing in front of all 6,000 people here tonight.
That's Delgado with the dink. Diving save back over the net by Kahakai. Now Thomas in the middle. Didn't get all of it, got enough of it. Point Fullerton. It's 8 serving 10 coming up.
Kahakai just getting so good at laying it all out on the line. Doesn't care about her body much. And there's the ending shot by Thomas to put it down.
Overpass by Manu-Olevao on the serve. One-hand save on the free swing by Kahakai. Bump set goes cross-court to Taylor, who pounds it down. How about the bump set that had to traverse an entire half a court from Ty Manu-Olevao?
That was a great bump set. Nikki Taylor knew that was coming. And, you know, in beach volleyball, you have to do that a lot. Nikki had a great beach career last year for the Rainbow Wahine, and that was something she's very used to.
And here's an ace on senior night for the senior Ty Manu-Olevao.
Again, I love that Ty has gone back to the deep recesses of this court to serve this tough floater.
Yeah,
high, deep, moves a lot, catches the air currents.
Yeah, she could shake hands with the governor, David Ige, back there if she wanted to. She's all the way right up into sort of that VIP row as you see another slam down from Thomas, and there is the Gov. Made it to several home matches this season. Here's Higgins to Magill in the middle off the block. Good save by Delgado. Outside Hill. The dink was blocked back, and then she punched it over. So Hawaii with it. Taylor from the opposite position. Kaboom!
Great back set from Taylor Higgins. Got it right in Nikki Taylor's wheelhouse there. She hit it cross court. I think she went over the block. Let's see if she goes over here or around or both.
Hawkeye with the serve. Hawaii up 4. Set goes to Hill, tight to the net, and she's able to... No, that'll be Hawaii point. She tried to squeeze it by that block and I guess missed outside the antenna. So it is a point for Hawaii, largest lead of this opening set. Kahakai smacks it over, and it's an ace. Fell off of a table. Hawaii first to 15. Timeout on the floor. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match, Chris.
Well, for the Titans, it's Remember the Titans. That movie that had miracle qualities in it. And I think that Cal State Fullerton just might need some miracles to win this match tonight. This is the ultimate David versus Goliath. And for Hawaii, go out with a bang, not a whimper in this last home match. The earliest senior night ever. I think that the Rainbow Wahine want to give the fans precision and consistency that they want.
Hawaii up 6 out of the timeout. Hill from off the net. Couldn't get a full swing on it, but caught right in the middle of the floor where no Rainbow Wahine were. Kira Hill had a double-double performance last week against UC Irvine. 10 kills, 10 digs. In fact, the first double-double of that variety for Fullerton this season. Emily Magill couldn't really put the hurt on that one either, but just tapped it over, and it's a point for the Rainbow Wahine.
It was a little bit of a tit for tat. Each team exploring the middle of the floor on defense on the other side. Clearly, both sides have some openings.
Good serve by Nikki Taylor. Forces the overpass. Greeley finishes the deal, and they point at one another.
Well, you know what? Greeley's pointed to the server, Nikki Taylor, who forced the overpass with that great serve.
Hawaii up 7. Timeout. Titans. Welcome back. Series record sponsored by Aston Hotels and Resorts. Hawaii has owned this matchup 34-0 over the course of the last several decades. Last meeting was October 2nd, Hawaii winning in Fullerton by way of a sweep, 25-11, 16, and 19. And here up 17-10. But on the step out, the dink works for Summer Cairns. Good-looking freshman at 6'1" from Laguna Niguel, California.
Here's a stat I don't think we'll be able to announce again tonight. Cal State Fullerton leading Hawaii in blocking, the #1 team in the country, 1-0.
Hawaii ended up out-blocking the Titans 12-4 in that October 2nd meeting. So, yeah, you're right. Maybe enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, I want to give the Titans some credit here.
Good pass by Manu-Olevao. Slide. And Magill able to punch it off of that block. Nice looking setup from Higgins.
You know, Camilo, the Titans just getting better and better as the season goes on between Higgins and Magill on that step-out maneuver. And even Higgins and Magill a little bit now. The McGill's trying that step-out maneuver as well.
Here's Greeley. Jump floats it. Pass by Reed, step out, that's Cairns again. Save Kahakai. D-set to Taylor. And Reed keeps it alive for Fullerton. Hill from the back row, shoves it over, saved Kahakai. Higgins sets up Greeley from the back row, and we play on after the Delgado save. Cairns is blocked in the middle. She pops it up. Now Hill again from behind the line. One-hand diving save Greeley. Taylor couldn't put it down. Fullerton sets up left side, and it is finally ended by Caitlin Nielsen, the 6-foot sophomore from Murrieta, California.
Give a lot of credit to the Titans there. They took a lot of shots. Nikki Taylor, Greeley, and they just were patient long enough, kept coming back. Tremendous defense by Cal State Fullerton.
So 12 serving 18. Here's Maggs. That's dug up by Hill. Fullerton goes right side to Delgado. Hill plays it off the ricochet. Now high and away. Again, it's Nielsen. Right there's Greeley. Higgins. D-set to Taylor against a solo block. Diving save Reed. We still go. Delgado, the dink, is saved by Kahakai. Now Manu-Olevao up the ladder. And down the chute it goes.
Manu-Olevao gets her first kill of the night.
We've seen an uptick in her numbers in the kills category since Big West Conference play began. She's averaging 2.7 on the season, up near 3 kills per set in league games as Cairns is able to work it through the Hawaii block on the slide again.
Carrots, who's majoring in engineering, is engineering Hawaii's block pretty well right now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say so.
Averages a couple kills a set. Number 2 on the team in kills per set.
And here she is serving. Fullerton trailing by 6. Higgins. Magill dinks it over. Fullerton plays on, bump set, goes to Nielsen, diving save Kahakai. Magill in the middle, the set was a little low, she made it work anyway.
Savannah Kahakai keeps this ball in play right there with that sliding save to the floor, and Magill just gets up so quickly. Remember, she touches 10-6, grabs the basketball rim easily, so it's pretty easy to set her. You just can't underset her.
Yeah. Second in the nation, tops in the conference in blocks per set, tops in the Big West Conference in hitting percentage. Olivia Magill. What a find for Dave Shoji as she transferred from Arizona after playing there for 2 seasons prior to last year. And here, almost taking advantage of the overpass. Instead, it's Nielsen in the middle. Magill shuts it down, and then a second time stuffs it.
I think she just gave her Seattle relatives, all 7 of them, their money's worth right there.
Hawaii up 21-13 in the first. Time now to check out the Fujitsu air conditioning cool play of the match. Chris, this was just moments ago.
Well, Magill with a hit in the overpass, it gets dug, so she decides to block it back. Oh, doesn't go down, so she'll block it again. And that is a pretty cool Fujitsu cool play of the match.
Yeah. A 3-part play. A play with 3 acts.
Play with 3 acts. There you go.
Here's Higgins. 21 serving 13 into the net it goes. So a good timeout there by Ashley Preston, the head coach for Cal State Fullerton. And we're going to have Rachel Brown coming back in to serve for the Titans. But that sequence, very much an indicator of what Olivia Magill can do in that quickness up and down off of that floor. There she's dug up. Now Hill on the outside. The touch on the block saved Greeley. And then Higgins with the miss it. It was a little tight to the net. She did her best to try to handle it, unable to do so. But the athleticism of Olivia Magill to be able to, even after a hit attempt or a block attempt, regroup, gather, and get right back up off the floor, it's a rarity.
She has great calm and presence and intensity, to be sure.
Here she is. Got her way up off the floor that time.
That was pretty intense. Great set from Higgins. Great pass from Kahakai. That was the machine that Hawaii was the first 2 sets on Friday night versus Riverside.
Manu-Olevao from way back there with the serve. Someone has to get the second touch after Paige Reed fielded it, but Kira Hill unable to get to it. So a delayed ace, if you will, for Manu-Olevao. And once again, she'll take the long walk back behind the service line.
She picks up her second ace of the night here.
23 serving 15. Pass by Reed. Set goes middle. That's Thomas. One-hand punch up by Higgins. Magill bump sets Taylor. But right there is Reed, the 2-hand dig. On the right side, it's Delgado blasting it off the block and down. So Fullerton staying alive here. And we mentioned their record. Hey, they're over on the year, but it's not as though they've been getting blown out every match. In fact, they've had some rough luck. They've played 4 5-set matches this year and have lost those by a total of 13 points.
There's been a lot of character building going on.
Greeley, wow, that was a smash from the outside.
I think Greeley off to a hot start here. Magill draws a lot of attention in the middle there, leaving Greeley one-on-one on the outside. Greeley now with 4 kills and 7 tries, hitting .571.
Aloha ball here in the first for Hawaii. Diving save Kahakai on the touch shot by Hill. That's Hill's 4th kill, so she and Greeley leading all hitters in that department. And already 11 swings for Kira Hill.
And already Fullerton has scored more points than he did in any set October 2nd when they played Hawaii at Fullerton. Best they could do was 25-16.
Here's Taylor on the opposite side, blocked. Right there is Manu-Olevao. Higgins to Greeley. Can she finish the deal here in the first? No, Hill sniffs that one out. Delgado from the back row. Triple block is up. And the door was shut. Mags in the middle. Hawaii wins set 1, 25-17. And they strike first here on senior night. against Cal State Fullerton.
OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Warner Cable, is sponsored by Straub.
Welcome back to the Stan Sheriff Center Senior Night. At the conclusion of this match, we will celebrate the careers of Olivia Magill and Manu-Olevao. Time now to see how it works, presented by Central Pacific Bank.
Take a look at Manu-Olevao there. She's going to go back and bump this ball up sideways, high to Nikki Taylor. No block up, because I don't think Fullerton thought that ball was going to get up there. I'm not sure if Ty learned this from her sister Polly in Hilo, as Ryan Sergi said, or from Peter Balding, one of his high school coaches, or from Tanya Fuamatu Anderson, one of his other high school coaches. But whatever the case, that was a picture of perfection, how to bump set it from 30 feet away.
I mean, the set was on the money. Nikki Taylor able to finish it with what was an incredibly difficult hit attempt.
And surprised all six players on the other side of the net.
Absolutely. First-year head coach. Las Vegas native, and again, the all-time digs leader in Morgan State history. So, still a young coach, but getting an opportunity now to go up against one of the true legends, Dave Shoji, in his 41st season. And it's amazing. On senior night, we always get to celebrate this Rainbow Wahine program in general on this day where we catch word about Norm Chow being dismissed as head coach for the UH football team. It's a reminder of just how phenomenal Dave Shoji has been in building this program, which continues to be a perennial power in the national collegiate landscape.
And I think what he's really been good at is recruiting people like Manu-Olevao, mixing the local players with the mainland players. It's been a nice blend for all of his 41 years.
Here's Kira Hill from the outside. Great dig by Higgins. Taylor from off the net took something off. Diving save, though. Good job there by Brown. And then the dink, diving save by Manu-Olevao. Chance for Fullerton. They go backside to Delgado. The block was late, but Greeley able to cover her own ricochet. Free ball going back to the Titans. Set middle, and it is Candace Thomas able to put a good pounding on that one off the block and out, and Fullerton wins a long sequence.
Cal State Fullerton plays some great defense. I think they're emulating their coach. As you said, it was the all-time dig leader at Morgan State. Maybe that's the primary skill she taught them this year, because they've been playing very good defense.
Delgado, big red with the serve. Right side, here's Taylor. And that one comes towards us, misses wide. And that's another point for Fullerton.
That came right actually toward you, and I believe the referee called double hit. Mishandled ball. I'm sorry about that, Kyle.
I'd like to see a replay. I thought I got it clean. I actually thought I got it clean.
If you argue, I'm going to card you.
And the out ball there on the serve by Delgado. So we're tied at 2 here. Early on in the second, Hawaii winning the first set 25-17 and hit 4-14 in that opening stanza. Hill with the approach from off the net. Almost got it to curl in that deep corner area. But it goes long, and Kahakai again to serve. Hawaii up 1.
You know, Cal State Fullerton hit 242 on their own. They normally hit 143 on the year. So to put up a number 100 points higher than their normal offensive output is impressive. Because I knew they were nervous when I saw 4 of their first 7 serves go into the net or out. But they seem to be settling down, and they're playing much, much better offense and defense.
Here's Reed with the serve, past Greeley. Quick middle to Maglio, and that one had some smoke trailing off of it. Speaking of another player who just continues to develop in front of our eyes week after week.
Who would have ever thought that this young Canadian would develop so quickly into such a powerful contributor on this offense?
The dink by Cairns, diving save, Taylor sent over the net. So Fullerton will go back row to Delgado, caught it fat, sent it long, no touch up front. And it's a point for Hawaii, and Ashley Preston up off the bench. I think she senses that this is a chance here. Her team has been playing some scrappy volleyball, a chance for them to be competitive here in the second set. Doesn't want it to get too far out of reach too early. Taylor forcing the overpass, and then able to get the first touch. Scramble play on Hawaii's side, and a free ball results. Step out to Cairns. That one blocked straight up in the air, so Higgins gets it to Kahakai, who sets Taylor. Got it in the deep corner. We had one line judge signal in, another line judge signal out, and ultimately the ruling is an out ball.
So long ways, it was in. On the width side, it was out. I thought it was the right call.
Four serving 5. The slide to Maggs through the block and down.
It's interesting to see how much experimenting Dave Shoji does if he gets a 2-0 lead again. The other night when he experimented by putting a couple players in for that third set, backfired a little bit. We'll see what he does tonight. I think it's worth experimenting and getting those other players some more time, and we'll see. First, they're going to win the second set.
Yeah, exactly. Maggs, the quick middle set. She had to extend a little extra there to get to it, and then just oh so gently placed it down in the middle of the Terraflex. Maglio averaging 1.7 kills per set, but second on the team in hitting percentage, hitting .359 on the season. Third on the team in blocks behind only Taylor and Magill, and second on the team in blocks per set. So an efficient player in that middle, a la Olivia Magill. Manu-Olevao. She went upstairs and unleashed.
Ty's one who's gone from the depths of the beginning of the season, top first 1/3 when she struggled, even got benched there for a while, has come on so strong and played so big in so many matches. The first ones that come to mind are obviously the Florida one, the big upset over number 2 ranked Florida, the big win over Irvine. She just played tough in the clutch moments.
Clutch play there by Mackenzie Olsen, and winning what was a joust above the net between setters. She and Higgins went at it, and Olsen able to get the better of that matchup that time, the 5'10 senior who played 2 seasons at Delaware before transferring to Fullerton last year. Maggs in the middle. Well, she's getting a lot of attention from Taylor Higgins here so far in this second set.
Got like 4 sets in a row there. You missed it, but a player who just came in briefly for Cal State Fullerton was a girl named Precious Manu.
Yeah, there's got to be a relation
somewhere in there. She's related to Ty.
That's the speculation, at least, right?
In the deep depths of Polynesia, they're related.
We got many members of the Manu-Ohana in the house here tonight. Here's Taylor from the back row, blocked, covered by Higgins. So Magill with the D set to Taylor, but she hits it into the twine.
Some pretty sweet hands by Olivia Magill there.
She's done that a few times here this year.
Yes, every time she's put her hands on the ball, it's been pretty money.
I don't think she's been called for any sort of double hit or mishandle in those situations.
And most middle blockers, when they do break out their hands, they get called for some sort of violation, but not Olivia.
Certainly there is where she's most natural, though, just rising high and putting a hurting on it. Magill now with 4 kills on 8 swings, hitting .500. See what she did the first time around against Fullerton. Good serve by Higgins. Outside set, that's Nielsen. That's dug up by Higgins. Bump set Kahakai to Taylor. Hard angle right at us.
Net violation.
Net violation.
The Titans.
The ball actually hit out. She missed it wide, but because of the net violation, point Hawaii, largest lead of this second set.
Big Island Candies, the perfect place to find the perfect gift. Visit them at their flagship store in Hilo at Ala Moana Center or online at BigIslandCandies.com to see their amazing selection, including delicious chocolate-dipped shortbreads.
Welcome back to the Stan Sheriff Center. There you see one of the many members of the Hilo Ohana of Tai Manu-Olevao making the trip here to Honolulu for senior night tonight. Candace Thomas out of the break, able to get the side and the point immediately back to Fullerton.
We got to give some credit to those guys who showed up from Hilo. They went picking Miley for us.
Yeah.
And for Dave Shoji. And for the opposing coach.
Yeah, we want to thank them for that, certainly. Thank the aunties for our other lay. Manu-Olevao Off the block and down, but that's the reason they're here, is to honor, as will the rest of the crowd here at the Stan Sheriff Center, Ty Manu-Olevao and Olivia Magill. But it was funny, her mom, Shar, making the comment, like, there were so many people that wanted to come over. She's like, we need like a canoe or something to get everybody over to Oahu. And Manu-Olevao with ace number 3.
Boy, he's got 5 aces. Manu-Olevao's got 3 of them.
And there has never been a performance of the national anthem that charged up the rest of the team as much as what we saw from Manu-Olevao tonight.
She picked quite a night to take the microphone. One of the toughest songs to sing on the planet.
That one tight to the net, and we'll see what the call is here. Taylor will be called for hitting it into the antenna. Kind of a bang-bang play over there right in front of the high official, Michael Yoshikawa. Wayne Lee downstairs, line judges Darren Chun and Dean Tamura. And here is the serve from Precious Manu. Magill blocked back. Kahakai. High and away to Greeley down the line and right in front of Manu.
Greeley's really feeling it now. Getting all sorts of angles. Down the line, over the top, wrist away, sharp angle. She's got it all going on right now. And hitting the overpasses quite well.
Maglio, Greeley, Magill, Manu-Olevao all yet to commit a hitting error. Here's Hill. The touch there, Greeley the save. Middle set Maglio, but Higgins, it jostled around a little bit in the hands, so called for the double hit, and it's a point for Fullerton. Greeley handles the first touch. Maglio, was that blocked? Well, it's going to be a point for Fullerton anyway. Not sure if that was blocked or hit the tape. Either way you look at it, Fullerton back within 4. The serve from Paige Reed. Here's Mags again in the middle. Right there is Brown off the ricochet. Hill on the outside down the line. Line judge called out. But it's going to be a point for Fullerton. They're going to say that it was inside the antenna, even though the line judge to the far side was signaling that it missed wide.
I think what happened in a case like that is that Michael Yoshikawa, the up referee, can overrule those guys. He's like 3 feet away from the play, so he'll make the call himself. We can take a look at the antenna right here and see what happens as the ball is hit over. Hit the cable and not the antenna.
15 serving 11, and that's an ace dealt out the deck by Nikki Taylor.
Just pulling the string on that one, just trying to lob it in just over the net. Now she'll probably rip one. There it is.
One set goes to Hill on the outside. And that one ricocheted around a little bit, but Hill with another kill. That's her 6th of the evening. She's tops for Fullerton, and now she retreats back to serve. Her dad played college hoops. Mom ran track in college. Her sister CJ won an NAIA basketball national championship at Azusa Pacific in 2011. So yeah, the athleticism is in the DNA. That's Nielsen. And Nielsen finds that back row area, and Fullerton with a little pep in the step here as they are within 3 in set 2.
Nielsen, a former competitive dancer when she was younger, also has got some pretty good DNA. Dad, basketball, Cal Poly Pomona. Brother played baseball there.
Here's Greeley, had to just push it through the block, but was ready for the dump shot attempt by Olsen and blocked it back. She'll get credited with the roof there. She read Olsen with ease that time. And here comes Kendra Kelsch.
The closer's coming in a little bit early. Yeah. Only 17-13. She's in. Dave showed you just want to utilize her more and more.
The slide to Cairns, blasted down the line, misses wide, no touch up front. Point for the Rainbow Wahine, and they're up a 5 spot. And a timeout taken by Cal State Fullerton. Ashley Preston feeling this thing getting away. Let's check out the first Hawaiian Bank top 3 Hawaii career hitting percentages. Victoria Prince on top, 407, a Ted Williams-like percentage there for Victoria Prince's career. Olivia Magill, number 2, 396, and Heather Bowen, the Olympian, in the number 3 position. Some greats on that list, and Magill among them. Hawaii putting up the roof there in the form of Kelch and Magill.
It's a pretty impressive top 3 list, I'll tell you. The 407 by Prince, especially impressive. But all 3 of them hitting in the high 300s is a very difficult thing to do, and it shows a lot about their consistency and their ability to put the ball away a lot.
Well, speaking of putting the ball away, Kira Hill continues to tear it up. That's kill number 7 for her on 19 swings, hitting 211, having a pretty solid night here against the number 1 blocking team in the nation. Kelch goes out to Manu-Olevao, had to knuckle that one over. So bump set to Hill in the back row through a triple block and down. Kira Hill, Hawaii having a hard time finding the answer.
Impressive shot by Hill. Here's the back bump set put up, and all she needs is the ball. It's high enough for her to go up and attack it. It's a great arm swing, good solid jumper.
15 serving 9. Olsen sends it over. Set goes outside to Manu-Olevao, and the block was way late to the party, and Manu-Olevao made him pay.
Hawaii gets a good pass. The other team's middle blockers have got to pay attention to Hawaii's middles, both Magill and Magill. So threatening at that offensive position. You've got to go up and commit block them or pay a lot of attention to them at least.
Summer Cairns on the slide. They've executed that a few times very well.
Well, Cairns only has 1 error tonight. It's her 4th kill. She's now hitting 300, 4th kill in 10 tries.
Entering the match second on the team in kills per set, and here she is now serving it over. Fullerton still within striking distance. Kahakai sets cross court to Manu-Olevao, and sort of an excuse me hit goes off the forearms and out, and yet another put down for tie.
The ball set just a little wide, and she was just trying to keep the ball in play, maybe get a cover and a rerun, and instead she got a kill.
About 5 kills on 6 attempts, hitting .833 time Manu-Olevao, plus 3 service aces. Higgins pumps it over. Pass by Hill, tight to the net. The one-hand set. It will be a point for Hawaii, as they're going to call a back row attack violation against Mackenzie Olsen.
So she reaches over. Well, looked all right. The ball looked like it was 50-50.
She pled her case for a moment, unsuccessfully, to the up official Michael Yoshikawa. .22 serving 16. Olsen tracks down that set, and falling backwards. It's going to be an out ball by Caitlin Nielsen, as that one did not get inside the antenna. So things falling apart a little bit here in the last few sequences for Ashley Preston's squad, and Hawaii with its largest lead of this second set, 23 serving 16. Higgins, pass by Hill. Olsen jump sets out to Nielsen. That's blocked, but it goes out. So a point for Fullerton. Just missed that sideline, and so the Titans hanging in there for a moment. Rachel Brown on the serve. Cal State Fullerton preseason pick to finish 9th in the Big West Conference. They actually placed 8th last year after going 2-14 in league. But they are at the bottom in just about every major category in the conference, with the exception of blocks, where they rank 7th. But hard to block that anytime by any team when Olivia Magill gets it in the sweet spot high above that net. Such a high point of contact.
If you just look at the stats alone, it really is David versus Goliath. Fullerton leading in hardly anything, Hawaii leading in almost every category.
I love a ball here for the Rainbow Wahine. Great one-hand first touch by Kahakai. And again, Manu-Olevao with that long and far bump set. This time Greeley, though, gets roofed. Delgado was in the mix.
It's a tough ball to hit. It's coming over your head like that. Really knew that, so she didn't put a whole lot of heat on it. She was just trying to keep it in play, put it into a very good tightened block.
And that's how the second set comes to a close in anticlimactic fashion. The Gov loves it. Dave Shoji loves it. Hawaii may have a chance to reach into the broom closet on senior night. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the McDonald's match statistics. Chris.
Well, statistics about as lopsided as the score, but you know what? I've been impressed with Cal State Fullerton's overall play. Look at those. They're matching the #1 team in the country in blocks. In digs, they're behind by 8, but they've only got 11 errors. We've seen other teams come in here over 2 games and have a lot more errors than that. But Hawaii just too much, clicking on all cylinders right now, hitting .357. It's a huge number, about 80 points over their normal average. And the aces have also been very impressive. 6 aces and only 4 service errors. Very impressive by the Rainbow Wahine.
So here we are now in the same position that Dave Shoji was in 2 nights ago against UC Riverside, up 2-0. Hadn't necessarily been all that tested in the first 2 sets. Decided to put some reserves in, tool the lineup a little bit, experiment just a tad. And Riverside ended up getting some momentum. Won the 3rd, made it certainly a set in the 4th, and Hawaii felt pretty relieved to have gotten out of there with the 4-set win. If you're Dave Shoji, this is senior night. You got the festivities awaiting the conclusion of this one. What do you do?
I agree with Ryan Tsuji. I think that you stick with the same lineup, and then you gradually sub in people as needed, as the game will dictate. In other words, if Hawaii gets a big lead, I can see getting some other people in. But you got to remember, Hawaii had a month where a lot of people were hurt. So it's not like there's this real imperative for Dave Shoji to give people playing time so they're ready to sub in for people as the last 1/3 of the season rolls along. He's had everybody on the team. He's played everybody almost every match. So it's not really important for him, I think, to get a lot of the subs in. But I know he'd like to get some in. And I think that he will, should he get a big lead.
Yeah. Different kind of circumstances, though. Certainly, you don't want to think about things on the periphery too much, but it is senior night, and it's different here, and senior night festivities are a big deal for this fan base and for these families that made the trip, and I think Dave is aware of that.
Yeah, so for sure he's not going to sub out Magill. He's not going to sub out Manu-Olevao. What do you think about that? I think they'll play the whole
Yeah, I think that's a good. The safe money is there. Nikki Taylor, she's usually where the safe money is as well.
She struggled tonight. She's hitting 0, 4 kills, 4 errors, hitting 0. Unusual night for her.
See Katie Rue getting her first action in at the setter spot. At least listed as a setter, but she'll be a back row specialist here in this role. Here's Hill on the outside, and Kira Hill continues to roll. She is leading all killers with her 9th put down and hitting .266, make that .286.
She's had a solid night so far.
Here is Precious Manu, the transfer from Maryland Eastern Shore, to serve. Full name is Precious Miyamoto Temaari Manu. Sends it into the 20.
She's one of the 5 transfers. She comes from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Played 2 years there as a setter and a defensive specialist.
Served by Kahakai, middle set. That's Thomas. One-handed up in the air by Greeley, and Kahakai couldn't get to the second touch. So point Fullerton. We're knotted here at 2 early on. Yeah, in fact, Candace Thomas, among those transfers, the senior from Carson, California, actually played for Ashley Preston at Coppin State, and so followed her coach over to Fullerton. Higgins going outside to Greeley, right through that double block.
I think really, more than any other player, benefited from the 2-week layoff.
Yeah.
She looks much fresher. Legs look stronger. Arm looks fresher.
Well, for her, it was more than just one bye week because she didn't play in the 2 matches the previous week. So she had a longer layoff than her teammates. And yeah, you're right. She looks good. And she's going to just go forward playing through the pain of that nagging right shoulder, something that will probably have to be addressed in the offseason.
Right. Right now she's 6 kills, 1 error, and 385.
Taylor, that's a beauty. Doesn't get much better than that one, Chris.
Taylor picks up ace number 2 on the night. First one was the slow roller. That one, the heater. It dropped off.
Struggled a bit with the serve against Riverside the other night. But you see the confidence starting to tick back up just a tad. That's back-to-back aces.
Yeah, she had way too many errors the other. She had 6 errors the other night in serving. So I think she's changed her toss a little bit. The toss is lower tonight.
Oh, my goodness.
3 aces in a row.
I said it couldn't get much better than that first one. I think that's about as good as it could ever get. Nikki Taylor, 3 straight aces. Welcome back. Tonight's Jack Fact, Rainbow Wahine and the NCAA rankings. And in these categories, that's really the remarkable part. Number 1 in block average, number 3 in opponent hitting percentage, 9th in team hitting percentage, and 10th in total blocks. I mean, these are not numbers that usually a Rainbow Wahine volleyball team excels in. Step out to Karen's, and she's able to go through that top-ranked block. And, hey, surprise, surprise, Nikki Taylor out of the timeout did not serve an ace. She went back-to-back-to-back prior to that break. But Fullerton getting the point back. And how does that change the conversation about Hawaii and its potential postseason success, Chris? Because we've seen in the past, in the NCAAs, Hawaii would go up against bigger opponents and big, imposing blocks, as you see really going off the hands and down. But now Hawaii is that team that has the big, imposing block.
Exactly. You know, sort of the tables are turned. It's a 180 going on, and Hawaii now is that big team that teams fear, don't like to go up against that big block. So it'll be a whole different story in this postseason. It's too bad the NCAA committee doesn't take that into account in choosing who gets to stay home in the first 2 rounds.
Nielsen able to find that back row. Yeah, you just kind of feel like sometimes there should be a deferring to the eye test, right? If you watch this Hawaii team, they are a team that deserves to host and is among the top 16 teams in the country in terms of how that parlays into a hosting position.
Yeah, would it be a shame if they were ranked, eventually worked their way up to 5, but they were number 17 in the RPI? But in Florida, whom they beat, is still number 1 RPI like they are right now. I mean, it would be so ironic. It makes the NCAA look, it's a little embarrassing that you leave a team like this to go on the road when they're one of the top 5 teams in the country.
Good put down by Magill on the overpass, and it's Gianna Granasso tickles the antenna there on that ensuing serve. So it goes back to Fullerton. Granasso will come out. The libero Kahakai in. Karen's getting ready to serve for Fullerton. Kahakai fielding that serve. They go delayed middle to Manu-Olevao, and she found the void on the Fullerton side of the net.
And there's the new wrinkle again, the 3, what they call is 3 inside 2, where Magill is drawing a lot of attention on her 3 set. Manu-Olevao comes in from the outside, off the antenna, comes all the way into the middle of the court. Gets a nice little tip kill.
Middle side, that's Thomas. Good save there, Kahakai. Jump set Higgins to Manu-Olevao. Saved right there by Reed. Now Nielsen, high hands. A great diving effort by Kahakai. Keeps the sequence going. They go delay middle to Delgado. Punched up by Greeley. Higgins. And now the slap over by Kahakai. A kill for Savannah Kahakai. Her 2nd of the season.
And this crowd is so knowledgeable. They know about that great dig, and they also know how hard it is for a libero to get a kill. So they applaud raucously after that play.
11 serving 6. Higgins, that's a beauty as well. Good first pass by Reed. And then Nielsen, the roll shot over the block and down.
Smart play by Nielsen. Hawaii was caught in that deep defense. And Perfect little beach roll shot. Saw the opening. Smart play.
So Rue back on out of Mission Viejo High School to serve. 5'8" sophomore, here it comes. It's an ace, much needed here for the Titans. 8 serving 11.
Katie Rue saw action in 22 matches last year. Psychology major. Loves the snowboard. It's a long ways from Orange County.
Pass there by Kahakai. Magill caught it a little fat, missed long. Point Fullerton. It's a 2-point set here in the third. 3-0 run here for the Titans. And the crowd turns the knob a little bit on the volume.
On a good pass, watch for Higgins to go right back to Magill.
Rue got denied by the tape there. So a freebie for the Rainbow Wahine. Now, the scheduling anomaly that is at hand here. This is senior night, but Hawaii still has 6 regular season conference matches remaining on the schedule. As Manu-Olevao sends it. Push over there by Hill. Hawaii keeping it alive. Tie from the back row off speeder. That's saved by Olsen. So the set goes to Delgado, but the run-up wasn't there. Free chance here for Hawaii. Backside to Taylor, right down to the floor.
Nice pass by Kahakai. Good set by Higgins. 1, 2, 3. Nice slam by Magill. Occupies the blocker. 1-on-1 for Nikki Taylor. That's precision. That's a good transition going from defense to offense.
Forces the bad pass, does Manu-Olevao. Hill from the outside. And the great equalizer that she's been here tonight. 10 kills for her. First one to double digits. She gets the point for Fullerton. So I ask you, with 6 road conference matches remaining, including CSUN, Long Beach State.
The 2 toughest ones is the bookends.
Yeah.
2 toughest ones are Long Beach State at the beginning of the first road trip, and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and the very last one at Cal Poly. It's not going to be an easy road to hoe for Hawaii. They have a 5-day road trip and an 8-day road trip, nearly back-to-back. It's going to be a real challenge for them academically, time adjustment-wise, everything.
Really with the kill. But I ask you, Hawaii has worked its way up in the RPI here in the last few weeks. They're into the low 20s now. Hawaii, a great effort on all parts to try to keep that one alive, but the dump shot works by Olsen, the no-look effort. But I ask you, do you think that Hawaii has enough time and enough matches remaining on the schedule to climb into the top 16 in the RPI? How difficult a task will that be for Dave Shoji's crew?
A very difficult task. They're going to need a lot of help from some teams they've already played this year.
Higgins middle, the Mags, that's blocked back. Higgins pops it up. Now Taylor from the right side.
You ask, how can they move up? Well, they can move up, obviously, by running the table, but they're running, the teams they're playing are between like 50 and 100 in the RPI. They need teams that are ranked much higher, like UCLA. They need them to go on a run. Even though they lost to UCLA, they gained in their RPI if UCLA wins.
That's a good point. Chased down on the second touch by Taylor, and Manu-Olevao sends a free ball over. Slide goes to Cairns. High hands. Right there is Ty. So Higgins picks and chooses. Goes D-set to Taylor off the block. Covered by Rue. Here's Hill from off the net. Hawaii with the advantage. Greeley. Oh, it was too far outside, and she sends it into the antenna. Point for Fullerton. They've won several of those very lengthy rallies here tonight.
You've got to give them a lot of credit. They're not afraid of this crowd, not afraid of this Hawaii team. They're playing gutsy, scrappy, defensive volleyball, staying in every rally.
Magill. I tell you what, she traveled a long way there on that slide.
She really did. She went from almost front left all the way to the right antenna.
Timeout Fullerton. Hawaii by 4. Looking to close in on the win.
OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Warner Cable, is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii and Kaiser Permanente.
Welcome back to the Stan Sheriff Center. Out of the timeout. Greeley with the run up and serve, but into the net it goes. So another positive timeout, you can say, signaled by Ashley Preston. What you hoping to shut things down here as soon as possible so we can get on to the senior night festivities. Kendra Kelsch on in at setter for the Rainbow Wahine. Goes D set to Taylor. That was a beautiful set, and Taylor able to just smash into that nectar.
A lot of teams are doing that. What they're doing is they're blocking Nikki Taylor's cross court and giving the line dig shot wide open to the best digger, Paige Reed in that case, or whoever the libero is on the other side. Exactly the same strategy that UCLA used when they beat Hawaii. I think Nikki Taylor's better now, though, than she was in early September.
Sure. And we've had coaches that have commented on that. Hey, look, we saw film, we've scouted her, we've practiced trying to imagine where she would be hitting the ball. Manu-Olevao, wow. That was sheer power from the senior. But some of the coaches have commented when playing against Nikki Taylor, she still surprises them with some of the angles and some of the shots she has.
She's an extraordinary player. Look at Ty Manu-Olevao with that shot.
That's Thomas in the middle. Caught that deep corner by a hair. And a point for Fullerton. 15
Thomas
serving 18.
Thomas is playing very solid volleyball tonight in the middle. Yet to make an error. 6 kills, no errors, 11 tries, hitting .545. Monster night. Look, Dennis Thomas, the senior transfer.
They didn't have an error the first time around against Hawaii back on October 2nd.
So you could say she is yet to make an error against Hawaii this year. At all.
Yeah. That's not bad. Yet to make an error against the best block in the country. There's Hill from the outside. She's able to work the block to her advantage. Fullerton hanging in there. Certainly within striking distance, and you see a little concern from Dave Shoji. He would love to see his team finish this thing out in 3. But now, Fullerton's Manu, precious Manu. Here to serve. It's a good one. Kahakai pops it straight up in the air. Higgins tracks it down. Now Greeley from off the net. That was an artsy shot from Kalei Greeley.
Good serve by Precious Manu. She forced Hawaii into an awkward passing situation, and Greeley just had to keep that ball in play. Should have been dug and played up.
Thomas, the block was up there, but Fullerton keeps it alive. Now Hill, two-handed in the air by Greeley. Higgins goes pipe set to Manu-Olevao. Great dig there by Reed. Now Hill, and again, able to go inside that block for the positive ricochet, and it's a point for the Titans.
Kira Smith's been so effective on that outside hitting spot, tooling the block time and again.
Higgins backside to Taylor. The block was not up, and she gobbled it up.
I'll tell you what, Nikki Taylor gets one-on-one. It's pretty tough to stop her.
They make the dream of education a reality for our student athletes. Visit hawaiiathletics.com and click on the donate button in the Ahahui Koa Nui Nui banner. Taylor with the serve. Hill with the first touch. She'll get the third touch as well. Kahakai sprawling for the save. Taylor sets up Manu-Olevao, who's done. Now Hill. Right there is Greeley. Advantage Hawaii. Kelsch pipe set to tie. Hit the top of the tape. Saved by Manu. Rat-a-tatted around on the Fullerton side, but credit the put down to Kalei Greeley. Not for a shortage of effort on either side.
Pretty much every rally has been like that tonight. The defense on both sides seems to be getting better as the longer the night goes on. That's
extended the night a little bit, this recent rash of service errors from the Rainbow Wahine. There's now 8 service errors. which compares to 9 service aces, so that's still a pretty good ratio. You would take that. Hill into the net.
It's a very good ratio.
That's a big one as Hawaii gets to 23, so 23 serving 18.
Fullerton scored better in every set in this particular match than they did October 2nd at Fullerton.
Slide to Karen's. Net violation called against Hawaii.
That was on Magill.
Last gasp, you would imagine, here for Fullerton to try to extend this match. Middle set to Magill. And it's Aloha ball for the Rainbow Wahine, and they will rise here at the Stan Sheriff Center.
On a whiteout night.
Gianna Guinalso will have the honors to serve here for the match on senior night. Aloha ball. Karen's on the step out. And they'll stand a little bit longer in anticipation. Gotta soak it up. There's a chance we might not see this team in this building for the rest of this season. 20 serving 24, it remains Aloha ball. Kelch, high and away to tie Manu-Olevao. Missed it wide. No touch, and it's a point for Fullerton.
Ooh, she wanted to go out with a bang, not a whimper. She took a good swing at that. Just missed the line. I think Kelch is going to give one of the two seniors the next ball here.
They're both out there. Step out to Magill. Dug up by Hill. Olsen gets the second touch on it. Free ball coming here for Hawaii. Kelch, slide again to Magill off the block and down. Point Hawaii, and the senior Olivia Magill with the punctuation. Hawaii wins it. Ekahi Elua Aloha on senior night. We'll be back. 20-1, that's the overall record for Hawaii, still unblemished in the Big West at 10-0. Now 15 straight wins, and they sweep Cal State Fullerton tonight. Scott Robbs has head coach Dave Shoji. Scott.
Hey, thanks a lot, Kanoa. Very balanced effort by your team today.
Well, I thought our middles had a good night, and, Nikki didn't hit for a great percentage, so we needed, Greeley had a nice night. Yeah, we had a pretty balanced attack tonight.
Did you bring up at all in the locker room during intermission what happened on Friday?
Okay, you asked, I got to tell you that I asked them if they knew who Yogi Berra was, because Yogi Berra coined the phrase deja vu all over again, and they looked at me like, Yogi Bear? No, I said Yogi Berra, and a lot of blank looks, but we talked about it. We couldn't come out like we did the last 2 times after being up 2-0, so we did a nice job.
Okay, I know senior ceremony's coming up, so one last question. Now you go on the road for 6 straight. I don't think that's ever happened in the program, 6 straight. What do you do to prepare for that?
Well, it's just a quirk in the schedule. It happened this year, and probably the only time it'll ever happen, but it's tough to win on the road. We'll just prepare as best we can. Got to have a good practice week. Prepare well for Long Beach on next Friday night.
All right, Dave. Hopefully we'll see you in the first week of December. Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks, Scott.
All right, guys, back over to you.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Dave obviously in a pretty decent mood, but what a sad day when we have collegiate athletes who don't know who Yogi Berra is. Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. Cal State Fullerton's Kira Hill, 12 kills and 3 digs, gets the nod, and definitely have to salute the seniors. The 2 seniors, Olivia Magill and Manu-Olevao, who respectively finished with 7 kills, 429 with a block, talking Magill, and Manu-Olevao 8 kills on 15 swings, 467 and 4 digs. So that'll do it for us on this senior night. We will have the festivities. We will have the special moments to come here tonight when we return. For Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Aloha.
And welcome back. It is post-game time. Senior ceremony coming up shortly. Hawaii winners in 3 over Cal State Fullerton today. 25-17, 18, and 21. Hawaii now remains unbeaten in conference play at 10-0 and 20-1 overall on the year. Time now, though, to take a look at the senior video.
Just the atmosphere that the Stan Sheriff has is amazing, and I know Dave is a really good coach, so that was really important to me to play for someone who knew what they were talking about. Hawaii is also a really cool location to live for 2 years, so there's that too. I think I've become more outgoing and more confident in myself, and volleyball has definitely helped with that. Communication on the court has always been like kind of a thing for me, like not talking loud enough or enough, and I think I do that more. Offense has been something that I've always been a little bit more comfortable with, but recently I think I've become more of a middle blocker rather than a middle hitter. It's been really awesome. Like, I've had a great experience here, and I'm just like so lucky that the second time around was really good, so it's been awesome. I just want to say thank you to my family for putting up with me through like the ups and downs in my career, and my friends who've always supported me, and my team too. They've been there for me a lot, and Dave for giving me a second chance.
I honestly don't know where I'd be if I didn't like play volleyball. Right now, all I know is volleyball. Like eat, sleep, crap, volleyball. I moved here for volleyball, to play volleyball at Punahou, and like I didn't expect this journey. Like coming to UH, going to Punahou, it was so unexpected. Being able to represent my family's name in a positive way. When we go to California, and there's like so much fans that come to us and like are super excited to meet us, and even if they don't even know my name, like just the fact that I'm representing Hawaii, and like I'm not from the mainland, I'm from Hawaii, I'm Hawaiian, and just, I mean, not to get all sovereign or anything, but just the fact that I'm a local girl, and being able to represent the local people here is just amazing, and the love that I get because of that is crazy, and I'm super grateful for that. As much as I complain about waking up 5:30 in the morning to get taped, I'm definitely gonna miss Renee and the conversations that I have with my teammates in the training room. I'm gonna miss my coaches, Dave, and how he just like his weird mannerisms in practices, like bend your knees, or just the weirdest things he does. Definitely gonna miss Robin and her calling us fool. I'm like, okay. Just the small things I'm gonna miss. Like, definitely I'm gonna miss my teammates, because I don't have friends outside of volleyball. But they're my only friends, so no, I'm just kidding, but no, for real, I am not kidding. They're my only friends. I'm gonna miss them. I'm gonna miss the fans. I guess my favorite part about playing in the Stan Sheriff is match point, when everybody stands up. It's like a flood of aloha just coming down onto the floor for us, and it's just amazing. I'm gonna miss that. First, I want to thank my Heavenly Father, because for sure without him, I would be nothing. Then I want to thank my mom. The woman has been amazing. She had to deal with all the crap, all the punches, and she took it. And I'm so grateful for my mom, my dad. I hope I made you proud, Dad. My brothers, who always told me I hit like a girl, I guess. My sister, Polly. My cousins, Sky. I'm pretty sure right now they want me to say their names, but I can't. But just my whole family, and the support that they give me. My teammates, the amazing memories that we've made. I'll never forget you guys. And the fans. I don't know, it's just an awesome ride. Thank you.
And time now to really get this party started. Let's throw it over to public address announcer Ben Kia'aina.
Fans, at this time, please direct your attention to center court. Here, representing the University of Hawaii Federal Credit Union, our Vice President of Member Services, Brian Anderson. Member Services Manager, Debbie Wilson. And Vice President of Marketing, Barry Carroll. And representing the University of Hawaii Athletics Department is Athletics Director David Matlin. And Associate Athletics Director and Senior Women's Administrator Marilyn Moniz Kaho'ohanohano. And also Head Coach Dave Shoji. Our first senior transferred to Hawaii last season after spending 2 years at the University of Arizona. Last season, the Shoreline, Washington native earned AVCA All-American Honorable Mention honors and was a first-team All-Big West selection. She is currently ranked second in the NCAA with 114 blocks and also leads the Big West with 1.66 blocks per game and a .381 hitting percentage. In her 2 seasons at UH, she has amassed 446 kills and 251 blocks. Her favorite part of being a Rainbow Wahine has been playing in front of huge crowds here in the Stan Sheriff Center, and her most memorable moment was hearing her name announced in her first match against Ohio, and said she will miss all the energy the crowd gives the team during their matches. She will graduate in the spring of 2016 with a degree in communications. Fans, please put your hands together one last time for number 9, Olivia Magill.
And Olivia Magill and her journey here to Hawaii, of course, going through Arizona. And really, when we talk to Olivia Magill, this is it for her. Volleyball will sort of end after the University of Hawaii, and she wants to go on and get into communications and broadcasting potentially. So this could be the last time we saw her, but she's been a great contributor for this Wahine team.
What an incredible contributor and just a blessing to the team. A great transfer in. Dave Shoji sharing earlier in the broadcast how fortunate they were to receive her coming in. Transferring into this program, she has just added so much. Her maturity level, she's stable, she's steady. You know, she's the team mom. Everybody says Olivia is the team mom. They look up to her and they really, really respect her.
Our last senior is a 4-year letter winner who hails from Hilo, Hawaii. Last season, the Punahou School graduate earned first-team All-Big West honors after leading UH with 289 kills. For her career, she has tallied 759 kills, 119 blocks, 509 digs, and 53 service aces. Her favorite part of playing for the Rainbow Wahine is the love and support she feels when everyone rises from match point in the arena, as well as being able to be a part of the legacy that is Hawaii Volleyball. Her most memorable moment was going on the Europe trip this past summer, and she will miss being part of something that has such a positive influence on others, and being a part of this volleyball family. She'll be graduating this spring with a degree in family resources. Fans, please show your aloha one last time for number 10, Manu-Olevao.
Manu-Olevao playing with so much emotion, and we saw that emotion in that piece that we just saw her getting a little teary-eyed. You know, this is a girl who grew up in Manu-Olevao on the Big Island. Her family made a big sacrifice to move her over here to the island of Oahu during her 8th grade year. Started playing volleyball at Punahou. A lot of dedication by Tai over the years to be here in this moment.
And you know, you talk about her major in family resources. It's pretty amazing. This young lady is so emotional. At the same time, she has grown so much unconditional love from her family, the sacrifices they've made, and her commitment to play here at the University of Hawaii.
Manu-Olevao Ohana.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to sing a song for our seniors tonight, Hawaii recording artist Josh Tatofi. Well, let's take that introduction back. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Tatofi.
Mahala mai kapua I kala Ola no kaina I kahua E kupua ki elena nie Ko ana nai mapume E pua ho'eno ai iluna He hiva na kapuva E kupua ki elena nie He nani lua ole alohine E pa ahe kamakani I ka honua E kui po eleno koha Moha mai kapua I kala Ola no kaina I kahua E kupua ki elena nie Ko ala nauna e mapune E pua hohe
Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet. And let's hear it one last time for Olivia Magill and Manu-Olevao.
No place does it better than Hawaii. We'll take a break. We'll have more from the Stan Sheriff Center. It was a 3-set sweep for the Rainbow Wahine on senior night against the Titans of Cal State Fullerton. But even though it was senior night, it was the underclassmen that really performed here on the floor. We start off with sophomore Kalei Greeley, the left side hitter, put down 9 kills. She hit .412 on the night. She also added a couple of blocks in the Hawaii victory. Another sophomore that contributed for the University of Hawaii was Emily Magill. Mags, as her teammates call her, she as well had 9 kills. She hit .571, which paced Hawaii's offense hitting percentage-wise. She also had a couple of blocks also for the University of Hawaii. So the sophomores contributed. And then, of course, you got to have a highlight with Nikki Taylor, right? But this time, Taylor from behind the service line, as you'll see 3 of her 4 service aces on the night. In fact, the 3 came consecutively in the set number 3 for the University of Hawaii. So it was everybody contributing: Greeley, Magill, Taylor, and the rest of the squad as Hawaii improves to 20-1 on the season and a perfect 10-0 in Big West Conference play.